In May 2022, Stormont elections saw 90 new members returned with a change at the top. Sinn Féin became the largest party. These elections were called because the DUP collapsed the institutions due to their opposition to the post-Brexit arrangements known as the Protocol. From then, talks with the largest unionist party have been ongoing. But just before Christmas, Secretary of State Chris Heaton-Harris started discussions with all party leaders and said that the talks with the DUP were over. It was thought that a deal was close.
I think we are now at a point where we need to have a call made, and we want to see a positive call made, and we want to see the institutions back up and running without any further delay.
There's a deal to be done. Yes, it will require movement from the British government in terms of funding. They do need to move on that. But it does also require those parties who have got a mandate last year to form an executive to use that mandate to get real and to do the deal.
Well, the deal's been done with the Windsor Framework. That is a fact, that is a reality, and it is worse than Brexit. There's no arguing on that particular point. But short of the UK rejoining the European Union or rejoining the single market, we have to work on the basis of the Windsor Framework.
The Secretary of State has acknowledged that Northern Ireland has been underfunded and has said that nearly £3 billion is available, but only on the condition that Stormont is up and running. Unions are furious. The public sector is also holding a day of strikes on January the 18th over pay settlements.
He's using public sector workers as a bargaining tool. He's using us as a chip against the politicians. So he dangled this carrot and said, yeah, here's the money, it's available now, but you're not getting it. And you're not getting it and blame your politicians. But that's not where the anger is going. The anger's not going towards the politicians. The anger's going to a Secretary of State who has admitted the money's there, admitted the Treasury can provide this money, and is then saying you're not getting it and I'm holding it back from you. Now, what I would say is we do want an assembly back up and running. We wanted it back yesterday, the day before yesterday. We want it back. But we want an assembly that has sustainable finance, because unless you underpin with sustainable finance, what you've inherently got is an unstable assembly. And what you've got is you're running up debt into the future.
Talks between the British government and the DUP have now resumed. But polls have shown that if an election was called, the makeup of the major parties would remain largely unchanged. With so many unresolved issues around the framework document, it would be a huge gamble to call an election. Politics in Northern Ireland is all about power sharing and risk, and if unionists are to re-enter government, Sir Geoffrey Donaldson will have to have a deal that is legally solid. If that's not the case, the Secretary of State will have to know the risks of calling an election that will give him a different outcome. Dougie Beattie, GB News, Belfast.